checking the forecast. Things looking crazy, a storm on the horizon. The pressure is low, gotta get moving, put on a show. The news is all buzzing, state of alert, but we've got a plan, we're ready to work. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. See a little fire or a rising flood, we're a well-oiled machine, we're running in the mud. From the city hall meetings to the rescue teams, turning worst case scenarios into hopeful dreams. We're training the people, we're stocking the gear, we're the team you can count on when trouble is near. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the face. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. It's more than a job, it's a calling, you see. Prepared for the present and what's yet to be. Every second counts, we're ready to react for our communities. We're making an impact. Emergency Management Associates, we're here for the crisis, we're here for the fates. From the first sign of trouble to the all clear sign, we're on the front lines, we're one of a kind. Emergency Management Associates, we're the calm in the chaos, we're opening gates, connecting the dots and making the calls. We're picking you up when you're starting to fall. Yeah, we're picking you up, we're ready to go. Let's get this show on the road.
Let's get this show on the road, ladies and gentlemen. This is Emergency Management Associates coming to you from the Area Command, 392 miles west of Kitty Hawk Beach, North Carolina, guys. We're here for you tonight, right here. That's what we do. We're here for the crisis. We're here for the fates. We're here when the crisis gets out of the gates. That's what we do. That's what we do. That's what we always have been doing. Always and forever. We're not going to let you down. We're absolutely not going to let you down. It's not going to happen. Not here, not ever. Now, guys, we have a lot of things we need to talk about tonight. I want to first talk about a couple of things here before we get going. If you want to help contribute to this program, you want to see this program go, you want to see this program stay on the air, please, guys, we could use your help keeping this program on the air. Go to our PayPal locations. They're scrolling across the bottom of your screen. Go to our PayPal locations and give us donations there. Also, one other place. You can send us donations. You can send us a card and or a letter and stick a donation inside the card or letter. We'd appreciate that greatly. During the past week, we've got several cards and letters from you guys, which we greatly appreciate. We've received a donation. We've also received some Christmas presents, which we're very grateful for. Thank you very much for that. But guys, please help us. We need the help. Also, guys, if you still have the chance and you're thinking about it, please help us for a Christmas show. And that we are wanting to get information from all of you, how you celebrate Christmas, what you do for Christmas in your families, either Christmas Eve and or Christmas Day. Send that information over to our EMA email, rltnspdema@gmail.com. You can also send us a card or letter and give us that information as well. We'd appreciate it greatly. It must be postmarked very soon because next week is Christmas. Next week is Christmas. It's the 18th today. 7 days from now is Thursday next week. So be prepared, guys. Christmas is coming down all over us, all over this place. So get prepared. Help us with our Christmas program. We will be on the air Christmas Eve with a special Christmas presentation like we've done in the past. But this year I want to make it just a little bit different. I want to include all of you in that presentation. So please, if you can think about it, please send us a card or letter or even an email, or if you have Messenger, send us information in Messenger, in text message. You can give us a video. You can also give us a voice indication. We can play that on our program as well. We love you guys. That's why I want to include you with our Christmas presentation. Today, we're going to be talking about some earthquakes, and then I want to talk about what is going on in our families, what's going on in our cities, our states, and wherever we live around the nation in terms of how to prepare for emergencies and disasters. Specifically, what things are we doing to prepare for emergencies and disasters? And right now, I'm going to ask you all, before we get into this program any further, please get out notebook and get out pens. Get out paper and pens, and please take notes. I've gotten a lot of calls for it. My dear friend Laura, who is here on the chat most of the time, she asked me the other day to talk about it. I said the next day we would. I put it off thinking I could put it off till tomorrow, but I decided to do it tonight. I've had many people talk to me and call me and ask me for information. I'm going to give you that information tonight. So here, right here tonight, you're going to have that information. So please do that. Anyway, before we get started with the earthquakes, there's a presentation I want to talk about. Dan Bongino will resign January 1st. Dan Bongino, who has been the deputy director of the FBI, Kash Patel's right-hand man, is going to resign effective January 1st. Okay? Dan Bongino said he would leave his role as the FBI's deputy director in January. Bongino, who was appointed by President Trump in February this year, built a large following, including through his podcast and other media appearances. He was previously a New York City police officer, a U.S. Secret Service agent assigned to protect Barack Obama, the former president. In a post on X, Bongino thanked President Trump. He thanked Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel for the opportunity to serve with purpose. He said, quote, "God bless America and all those who helped defend her." Bongino's future has been uncertain since July amid the fallout over the Justice Department's decision not to disclose information about Jeffrey Epstein and the investigations into the deceased sex offender. Multiple sources have been familiar with this case are saying the same thing. In a 2023 video audio episode of Bongino Speaks, Bongino told his listeners that the Jeffrey Epstein story is a big deal. He said to his listeners, to all of us, please do not let this story go. Blaming people in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth. But there are still people in the Washington swamp that are not telling us the truth. President Donald Trump was asked by reporters about Bongino's future during a brief gaggle on the Tarmac Joint Base Andrews Air Force Base Wednesday afternoon, and replied, Dan did a great job. I think he just wanted to go back to his show, referring to the podcast Bongino formerly hosted. Bongino has been a staunch Trump ally. He was considered for a surprise pick for the role of the deputy director, which had been previously held by career agents. Because he had no prior experience with the FBI, everybody was laughing at him. They said he had no experience. He did. He served with distinction with the Secret Service. He was very familiar with the FBI tactics and the FBI agency. Anybody that said he didn't know what he was doing, he did. But the fact of the matter is this. There are people in the swamp that didn't want him there. There are people in the swamp that did not want to release information, and unfortunately, they got their way. The FBI Agents Association, which represents around 14,000 current and former agents, had opposed his appointment to the position. Announcing his decision to step down, yet on yesterday's social media post, Bongino wrote, "I will be leaving my position with the FBI in January." Again, he wanted to thank President Trump. He wanted to thank Justice Director Bondi. He wanted to thank Kash Patel as well. Before joining the agency, he had echoed disinformation and conspiracy theories about what was going on in Washington, D.C. Trump's false claim that he won, the news media said Trump's false claim that he won the 2020 election and about the January 6, 2021 pipe bomb investigation. All that kind of stuff has been hidden by the swamp. Okay? Trump did win the 2020 election. Okay? He did win. But the fact of the matter is this. Biden and his cronies falsified data. They falsified data, they lied about what went on, and as a result, Biden took office. Trump's claim was valid. He's proven it. He's proven it beyond any shape or form. Trump won the election, but Biden stole it. In regards to the 2021 pipe bomb investigation, the pipe bomber has been arrested. The pipe bomber was arrested this past week. Bongino had previously called the pipe bomb case an inside job. It was. After taking office, he pushed to make the investigation, which Attorney General Bondi said had languished, a priority for the FBI. Earlier this month, a man with no known ties to the government was arrested, but he had ties to the government. Nearly 6 years after the pipe bombs were discovered outside the national headquarters of the Republican and Democrat parties, the pipe bomber was arrested. FBI Director Patel, in a social media post on Wednesday, praised Bongino's tenure and said he had served the people's as a people's voice for transparency and delivered major breakthroughs in long unsolved cases like the pipe bomb investigation. He not only completed his mission, he far exceeded it, Kash Patel wrote. Bongino also appeared to change his mind about the death of sex offender Jeffrey Epstein once he became leader at the FBI. As a commentator, he had questioned whether Epstein took his own life in a New York prison in 2019 while he was waiting trial. That still is being questioned. Okay? Bongino said he had seen the whole file. In July, the U.S. Justice Department and the FBI released a memo that said Epstein did take his life and he did not have a client list. That's been falsely reported. He has a client list. The old FBI has hidden it. They're not going to release it unless Kash Patel forces it to happen. Okay? Trump supporters who echoed the Epstein conspiracy theories and rejected the Justice Department's findings. Trump's supporters were frustrated and angry, and they had reason to be. According to the BBC, CBS News, the memos led to a contentious meeting between Patel, Trump, and Bondi. Bondio, who oversees the FBI, wrote in a brief post on X Wednesday, said Americans are safer because of Bongino's FBI service. That was from Bondi. Okay? I absolutely believe that the country is safer because of what Dan Bongino has done. I do hope that he will come back to podcasting. He was an awesome podcaster. He's an awesome person. He's been an awesome service to his nation, to each one of us. And I want to personally thank him for his service. Dan, if you have the opportunity to get anywhere near where I live, come see me. I would love to see you. Okay? Thank you for your service, Dan. God bless you. Okay? Now, besides that, I want to talk about a little bit about earthquakes. I've been monitoring earthquakes literally all night long, all day and all night long here. Let's take down our banner. Let's take down our webcam for just a minute. Let's talk about these earthquakes that have hit. Okay? They're literally all over the map, all over the world. Okay? USGS is still not reporting the accuracy of what's going on, though. Over here, off the Kamchatka Peninsula again, off the coast of Kamchatka, Russia, we've again had a 6.3 earthquake that USGS has downgraded to a 5.9. We had a 6.3 earthquake last night. That 6.3 earthquake was downgraded to a 5.9. That's typically what they do. Okay? They downgrade it to the nearest 0.9 so everybody will think, oh, it wasn't any more than that. It was. I believe this earthquake was at least a 6.3, if not larger. But they have a 5.9 here off the coast of Kamchatka Peninsula today. Now, it almost doesn't really matter. Okay? Because off the coast means most of the seismic energy was absorbed by the water of the northern Pacific Ocean. Okay? Also, the Kamchatka Peninsula is very sparsely populated. Even if this had hit an area where people lived, the seismic energy that it expelled would not possibly even have reached the people here on the peninsula. They may have felt some kind of shaking, but not the full brunt of a 6.3 or even a 5.9 earthquake. This is 45 miles off the coast of the Kamchatka Peninsula. Okay? Then further south. This is a 4.3 moderate earthquake here. This is 96 miles south-southeast of Kamchatka Peninsula. Okay? Let's go south. Over in the southern part of the Kuril Islands, just northeast of Hokkaido. Just northeast of Hokkaido, Japan. This is in the Kuril Islands that belong to Russia. This is a 4.4 moderate earthquake. Over between Honshu and Hokkaido, closer to Honshu, Japan, on the Japanese earthquake fault here. Okay? This is a 4.6 earthquake. A moderate 4.6 aftershock. A 4.6 aftershock here. Okay? This is also 21 kilometers deep. In keeping with all the other earthquakes that have hit here, this is only 21 kilometers deep. 21 miles deep, excuse me. Okay? Let's go further south. And this is where it gets to be very important. Taiwan. Taiwan here. I want to show you what happened here. This is important. This is a large 5.0 earthquake. USGS has been calling them light or moderate earthquakes. These are large earthquakes. Large earthquakes do large amount of damage. USGS has been calling moderate earthquakes light earthquakes. In my book, there is no such thing as a light earthquake. Moderate earthquakes do moderate damage. That's what they've always shown. They don't do light damage. They don't do light damage. A small quake does light damage. It just barely moves furniture over around the place. It'll shake your dishes and plates. It'll shake your silverware. It'll knock pictures off. A small earthquake will just basically move under your feet. Moderate earthquakes can knock pictures off of walls. They can knock dishes and plates off of the cupboard, out of the cupboards. They can also knock books and knickknacks off of shelves. Like I said, moderate earthquakes do moderate damage. Small earthquakes do little or no damage. USPS bit off more than they could chew by last year, naming these moderate earthquakes light earthquakes. There's no such thing. This is a large earthquake of 5.0 off the coast of Hualien City, Taiwan. 12 miles east-northeast of Hualien City, Taiwan. Hualien City is a very populated city here on the east coast of Japan, or east coast of Taiwan, excuse me. Okay? It's a very populated city here off the east coast of Taiwan. Okay? This is 12 miles off the coast. People in Hualien City felt some part of this earthquake. Probably not the full brunt of a 5.0 earthquake, but nonetheless, they felt some part of this earthquake shake Hualien City, Taiwan. Okay? Let's go south here. Okay? In this case, we're going just north of Luzon, Philippines. Just north of Luzon, Philippines here. Luzon, Philippines is the island just to the north part of the Philippines here. This is a 5.5 earthquake. This is a very large 5.5 earthquake. Okay? This also hit early this morning. Way early this morning. 2:27 a.m. Eastern Time. This was in the afternoon in the Philippines. This was this afternoon in the Philippines. 5.5, very large earthquake, 60 miles southwest of Bosco, Philippines. It wasn't southwest Bosco, it was northwest of Bosco, Philippines. Northwest of Luzon, Philippines here. Okay? USPS has it southwest, it's not, it's northwest. 5.5, very large earthquake here. Okay? Down here off the southwest coast of Luzon. This is a 4.8 earthquake here. 4.8 moderate earthquake here. This is 29 miles west. 29 miles west of San Nicolas, Philippines. Okay? Just offshore here. Now guys, because this earthquake was offshore here, 4.8 are moderate earthquakes. I do not think that anybody onshore had any inkling that this earthquake even happened. If they did, it was just minor shaking. Just very minor shaking. Because the Solomon Islands, we had a 4.8 earthquake 9 minutes ago. Okay? This 4.8 off the coast of Luzon, Philippines here, they hardly felt it. Probably only felt 3.0, 3.5 shaking. Just very tiny shaking here. Okay? Let's keep going here. Down here in Indonesia, they show 3 earthquakes. There are 34 earthquakes here in Indonesia today. 34 earthquakes. They show us 3. North central Indonesia here is another large 5.0 earthquake. 45 miles east of Bitung, Indonesia. 45 miles east of Bitung, Indonesia, right here. Okay, a large earthquake. This is 47 miles deep. 45 miles off east coast of Bitung, Indonesia here. 5.0 large earthquake. Down here south of Java, Indonesia here. This also is a 4.3 moderate earthquake. 4.3 moderate earthquake off the coast. I don't think anybody on Java, Indonesia even felt this earthquake. Okay? Up here in northern Sumatra, north central Sumatra. This is a 4.4 moderate earthquake here. A lower 4.4 moderate earthquake here. Okay, again, moderate earthquakes can do moderate damage. Over here in north central Sumatra here, this is near a volcano. This is near a volcano here. Okay, it's a 4.4 moderate earthquake, 29 miles northeast of Saboga, Indonesia. Northeast of Saboga, Indonesia here, near a volcano. There are a lot of other earthquakes here in Indonesia, but USGS says, oh, I don't think we're going to show them. Most of I would say 90% of these earthquakes are 3.4 to 4.5 in magnitude. And as you can see, they have identified 4.4 here. Why didn't they all put all the rest of these earthquakes on the map? They could have done that. They should have done that. But they decided, oh, it's not necessary. Not necessary. I call BS. I call BS on that. Now, I want to go over here into Myanmar. Up here in what they call Burma. Now they call it Myanmar. This is a 4.6 earthquake here. Just southeast of India in Myanmar. This is an aftershock of a major earthquake that happened here earlier this year. This is a 4.6 aftershock from an earthquake that hit here earlier this year. Okay, this is also 6.2 miles deep. Okay, that's what's happening here. Let's back out here. Look all over here into the Middle East. They're not showing anything. Over here in Africa, they're not showing anything. Over here in Europe, not showing a thing. Guys, this area is moving. This area is moving. We probably have close to 900 earthquakes here in Europe. Close to 900 earthquakes in Europe, and USGS says nothing about it. Sad but true. Sad but true. Okay. One other earthquake that hit over here in off the coast of Panama. This earthquake happened yesterday. We reported it yesterday afternoon. This is a 4.6 earthquake. It came out as a 5.0. They downgraded this yesterday from a 5.0 to a 4.6 earthquake. Okay. Over here. Okay. This earthquake happened earlier today. This is a 4.4 earthquake here. Moderate 4.4 earthquake. Both these earthquakes did no damage on land. They did no damage on land. But the fact of the matter is this. There are other earthquakes in Panama, Costa Rica, El Salvador, Nicaragua, and Guatemala that they're not showing here. Just like they're not showing any earthquakes here in southern Mexico. Not showing one. 44 earthquakes here in southern Mexico, they're not showing one. That's a sad state of affairs. Okay? I'm going to show you one earthquake that just happened over here in Texas. This is a 2.1 minor earthquake here. 2.1 minor earthquake, 5.6 miles deep. This just happened. This earthquake just happened here in southwestern Texas. Notice the other earthquakes have hit here. There is a good sized swarm of earthquakes here, another good sized swarm of earthquakes further to the west. These are all oil and gas fracking earthquakes. These are all oil and gas fracking earthquakes. Okay? Earthquakes have continued to hit here in Southern California. Earthquakes are hitting here in Southern California, not just in Los Angeles, but in San Diego and the Imperial Valley of Southern California. They're not talking about it. They're hardly saying a word about it. Nothing. Nothing. Comparatively nothing. They're showing one earthquake that just happened here in northeast San Diego County. This is a 0.4 microquake. 0.4 microquake. Further over here to the north, off coast. Off coast. This is off the coast of Los Angeles. This is a 2.0 earthquake here. 9 miles south of Las Flores, California. 9 miles south of Las Flores, California. Basically, Malibu, California. Malibu, California. Okay? That's what's going on here. Now, I want to go further up here to the north right here. Okay? This is Little Lake, California. Why do we know Little Lake, California? Because, folks, guess where we're at? We're over here northeast of the Garlock Fault here. Okay, what else do we see here? What else do we see here? Ridgecrest, California. Ridgecrest, California, guys. What do we know about Ridgecrest, California? July 3rd and 4th, 2019, we had a 7.1 and a 6.9 earthquake here. Yeah. This whole area was inundated with earthquakes before and after that. Before and after that. Some 6,000 earthquakes hit during that time period. We're still having earthquakes today. We're still having earthquakes here today. All of these earthquakes that you see here, including this one right here. This is a 2.1 in Trona, or near Trona, California. This one just hit is in Little Lake, California here. Each and every one of these earthquakes are aftershocks of that 7.1 earthquake that happened here over 6 years ago. Over 6 years ago, 6.5 years ago. Incredible. They're still happening. They're still happening. Earthquakes are still happening here east of San Francisco Bay. They're not going to stop. That's because, guys, there is a lot of seismic energy hold up here. There's a lot of energy hold up here in Northern California. We're going to have a large earthquake here in Northern California. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Santa Mona again, a 2.0 earthquake where Rob 52's daughter lives. 2.0 minor earthquake here. Up here to the north, Concord, California, 2.4 here. These earthquakes continue here. They're continuing here. That's because we're going to have a much larger earthquake here very soon. You need to get prepared, guys. Everyone here needs to be prepared. Okay? Going up here in the Pacific Northwest. In relationship to the Cascadia megathrust earthquake off the coast of Port Orford, Oregon, on the Gorda Ridge here. This is a 3.2 earthquake. This is a 3.2 earthquake. 116 miles west-southwest of Port Orford, Oregon, in the Cascadia subduction zone region. In the Cascadia subduction zone region. This is a Cascadia region earthquake. They're still happening. They're going to continue to happen. Now, in regards to the Pacific Northwest, rain continues to inundate the Pacific Northwest. Snow in the higher elevations in the Cascade Mountains. That's happening. But Seattle, northwestern Washington, and Oregon are being inundated. The ground is still saturated. Flooding is still occurring. Levees are having to be repaired. People are in danger here. Families are having a hard time here. That's one of the reasons we're going to be talking about emergency preparedness tonight. Want to get this information out immediately, if not sooner. Over here in Oregon, Sheridan, Oregon, we have a 1.5 tremor according to the USPS. Guys, I've done my research. I could talk about earthquakes in Oregon and Washington all day long, as you know. When the USPS guy told me there are no earthquakes here in Oregon on a daily basis, I laughed in his face. They know darn well the earthquakes here are hitting here. They know why too. I continue to explain why they're happening. Okay, I could do a complete presentation on earthquakes today in the Pacific Northwest, but today I'm going to talk about preparedness. I'm going to talk about preparedness. It's important. I believe it's vitally important to what we're doing here as a country and also as a channel here on YouTube. This is vital to our preparedness efforts, vital to our safety and our well-being. Okay? Now, Renee Seppi's been putting up messages here in the chat since we came on the air. The evacuation order remains in effect for Reno County, Kansas. On the north side of Hutchinson, from Plum Street to East Halstead and North 58th Street due to contained wildfire. Due to a contained wildfire. If you are involved or anywhere near this wildfire, you need to evacuate your home immediately. Get your emergency preparedness items that you want to take with you and get out of the area and do it now. Please obey all authorities' orders in that area. Please obey your sheriff. Please obey your local police departments and other county agency members because your lives are in danger if you're here in this area. Heed their counsel, guys. Heed their counsel. This is very important. This is very, very important. Don't play a game with authorities. Your lives depend on being safe. If you want to be safe, pay attention. Okay? Pay attention. Kathy Payne says she has a friend in Olympia, Washington. No response. New husband. Happy to take care of his mother. I wonder if they are okay. Call the Red Cross. Kathy called the Red Cross. They might have names of people that need help or they should be evacuated, or maybe you can give their names to the Red Cross people and they can do some checking and get back with you. Okay? We're going to talk about that tonight as well. Okay? Let's go back through the chat here. Wildfires fueled by grass fires spreading due to high winds are in place in many areas of Kansas. Please heed any evacuation orders that are in place and stay safe. I echo that. I highly echo that. And while we're talking about high winds, we're having high winds and rain here where I live. But tomorrow all the rain stops. Here in North Carolina, where I live, we are in a drought situation. So when these high winds kick in, they could cause wildfires. Please, guys, if you are here in South Carolina or North Carolina, please don't do any burning at all. These high winds, 25 to 30 miles per hour, could get your fire out of control and spread like anything else. Don't do it. No unnecessary burning at all. Okay? Let's see here. Cassandra, thank you for being here. Yes, you can be listening. We appreciate it. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate each and every one of you that are here watching, listening to our program. We love each and every one of you. That's why we're talking about preparedness tonight. So guys, please, if you have the opportunity, get some paper and pencil now so we can talk about emergency preparedness right now. I'm going to answer some questions now that I've gotten. What ways can we help our family and neighbors in storms or other disasters? What ways can we help our family and neighbors in storms or other disasters? Once you and your family are prepared, once each one of you and your family are prepared, consider extended family members or friends who are especially vulnerable during disasters. Think about how you can help them. Please pay special attention to folks with financial limitations and senior citizens. You can help your broader community before, during, and after disasters by volunteering. Find an organization in your community and participate in a class, training, or discussion. Participate in classes, training, or discussions. Affiliate yourself with the organization before disaster strikes. That way you have the opportunity to get the training you need to help your family members and friends. There are local nonprofits as well. There are faith-based organizations, schools, and even civic groups that are all great places to begin your search. There are many ways to help your community, including delivering food to older adults or organizing your own community projects. How about that? Organizing your own community projects. Consider any special skills you may have to offer. Think about that. Okay? How could you help organize your community? There are people all over your community, guys. When I lived in an area in Denver and also where I live right now, I've gotten to know the people in my neighborhood. I know who's here and who might need help. Reach out to those people, make sure they have the help that they need. And during a disaster where they may have to evacuate, please pay special attention to those people. Give them special effort. Give them special help. So they might also be able to evacuate if necessary and then help them to do so safely. Okay? Now, I've talked about this before. I'm going to say it again tonight. Get training in CPR and basic first aid. Get training in cardiopulmonary resuscitation and basic first aid, as well as other hazard-specific training. A financial contribution or a gift to a recognized nonprofit disaster relief organization is always an effective way to help support disaster recovery. Even small amounts can make a big difference. I'm going to give you some options here. I'm going to give you some options here to get you started to support community disaster resilience. Join your local community emergency response team, CERT. Join your local community emergency response team, CERT. CERT programs typically are sponsored, they are affiliated, or created in a partnership with a local fire department, a law enforcement agency, or an emergency management agency like I am. Get CERT certified. Get CERT trained in basic disaster response skills. A CERT member, a community emergency response team member, gets trained in basic disaster response skills such as fire safety, light search and rescue, team organization, and disaster medical operations. You're going to get a lot of training. They also offer, many times they offer equipment as well. Consider joining any CERT community. Okay? Find a volunteer opportunity. Another 4.8 earthquake hit in the Kuril Islands that belong to Russia about 14 minutes ago. Find a volunteer opportunity with your state's voluntary organization active in disaster emergencies. VOAD, VOAD. Volunteer organizations active in disasters. National VOAD is an association of organizations that mitigate and lessen the impact of disasters. This is especially effective in suburbs of Denver, where when blizzards come up, the VOAD people can help transport people to the hospital or people to doctor's offices during special cold weather and other emergencies as well. They're active in helping their neighbors. They're active in helping senior citizens. They're active in helping anybody involved in any kind of emergency or disaster. I've been affiliated with VOAD for many years now. Now, don't forget your crucial role that your youth play in disaster preparedness. Don't forget your youth. They play a critical role to integrate other children and themselves and their youth into family and community disaster response teams. Don't forget your youth. They can also be active and help mitigate family and neighborhood disasters. To help family and neighbors in disasters, prepare your own supply kit. Prepare your own emergency supply kit. Then check on vulnerable individuals. Check on vulnerable individuals, the elderly, the disabled, by creating a buddy system, offering transportation, sharing food, water, and shelter, assisting with cleanup, and coordinating with local relief groups for donations or volunteering for tasks like serving meals or organizing drives. Always prioritize safety, stay informed, and offer specific needed help like cash, blood, or supplies to establish charities rather than overwhelming them. Okay? Please pay attention to that. Okay? Offer specific needed help like cash, blood, or supplies to establish charity organizations rather than overwhelming them. Before a disaster, this is key. Before a disaster, preparedness is the key. Build your own kit. We keep talking about this almost every week. Build your own emergency kit. Stock non-perishable food, water, first aid, medications, cash, documents, radios, chargers, and batteries. Create a neighborhood network. Create a neighborhood network. Form a buddy system to check on elderly, disabled, or isolated neighbors on a regular basis. You can team up with your next door neighbor, or your best friend, or even your spouse, and go visit those elderly shut-ins. Make sure they're still safe. Plan together. Discuss emergency plans. Discuss emergency plans, communication, and meeting spots with family and close neighbors. Okay? Get trained. Get trained. Take a CPR class and first aid courses as well. Maintain your vehicles. I can't stress this enough. We talk about it a lot before hurricane season. We talk a lot about it before earthquakes hit, but you need to maintain your vehicles. Keep your cars, your generators, and your boats fueled and well maintained. That way, when an emergency happens, you can get in your car and drive away. You can get in your car and drive away and have all the things necessary with you. Okay? During and immediately after disaster. During and immediately after a disaster or any kind of emergency. Check in safely. Assess immediate dangers. Assess immediate dangers down power lines, gas leaks. Before approaching others, call for help if needed. Assess immediate dangers, down power lines, gas leaks, even water leaks. Before approaching others, call for help if needed. Offer specific help. Offer specific help. All of a sudden, just a minute ago, we had 36 people watching. Now we have 28. A lot of people don't even care about this. Look at that. A lot of people left us here. They don't believe in helping themselves or others, apparently. Offer specific help. Provide water, food, and shelter or a place to charge devices if you can. Provide water, food, and shelter or a place to charge devices if you can. Transportation. Transport assistance. Help your neighbors get to shelters or evacuation points. Communicate. Communicate. Share information and use social media to organize help for the community. And be mindful of hazards. Be mindful of hazards. Long-term recovery. Long-term recovery. Donate smartly. Give money, blood, or requested goods, food, blankets, and clothing to reputable organizations like the Red Cross so they can manage specific needs better than individuals. In your communities, you might have a specific thrift store with your cities or towns. They might have a specific thrift store that they use. When somebody needs help, they can go there and pick up food and clothing and other items and take them to those people that need the help. Volunteer. Help with cleanup. Help with serving meals. Or rebuilding with local groups, faith-based and nonprofit organizations. Support mental health. Be aware of trauma. Not just physical trauma, but mental and spiritual trauma. Help connect people with resources. What to avoid? Yes, folks, there's some things to avoid here as well. Avoid over-donating needed items. Charities can get overwhelmed. Check what's needed first before you donate. Avoid driving into flooded areas. We've talked a lot about this recently, especially in the Pacific Northwest, where they've had a lot of floods. Don't drive through flooded roads. I repeat, don't drive through flooded roadways. You're going to end up in a ditch, you're going to end up in a culvert, and water's going to overtake your vehicle. In Western Washington just the other day, they had a gentleman that did that. He went around barricades. Water filled up his car and he died in that car. Don't do it. Turn around, don't drown. 12 inches of water that's flowing can float at your vehicle. 6 inches of water that's floating can knock you off your feet. Don't do it. If water is flowing over a roadway, the roadway can become damaged and also the underside of the roadway can be damaged to such that the roadway will essentially disappear. The roadway will be obliterated by the water. We've seen that happen. Please, please do not ignore your pet's needs. Do not ignore your pet's needs. Plan for your pets, both food, water, bedding, toys, and other things that will help your pets be happy. Pets are people too. Pets are family members. Don't ignore your pets. Your pets, just like your children, if you ignore them, they get upset, don't they? They will make your life a living heck. Don't ignore your pets. Take care of your pets. Plan for your pets and service animals. Some shelters still only take service animals. Be aware of that. Most shelters will take animals, but some shelters do not, but they only take service animals. Be aware of that. But don't leave your animals at home or any other place. Keep your animals with you. They are your family members. I see this happening a lot. I don't like it. Your pets get ignored. They get left at home. They end up in a shelter and they sit there and cry. I've seen it happen. I've seen pets crying and howling with pain because they're emotionally and spiritually distressed because their family left them. Their family abandoned them. Those pets are family members too. They have feelings. They have feelings. Kathy Payne is asking, how can I store batteries? I have them in a plastic bag, but not a Ziploc one. Please, Kathy, if you can, put them in a Ziploc baggie, because if they're just in a plastic baggie, they can still get water damage and they can lose their charge. Don't put them on top of each other, put them side by side. That way they're best kept fresh. Priscilla, have a good night. Thank you for being part of our program tonight. But again, don't ignore your pets. Don't ignore your pets. How can I help my family? Create and practice an emergency plan. Create and practice an emergency plan, guys. Discuss your local risks. Assign roles to family members. And establish meeting points. Practice evacuation routes at least twice a year. Before you talk with your families, get a notebook and paper or type it out on your computer, print it up to go over it with your family members. Then talk to them about it. Talk to them about your emergency plan, what you plan on doing during, before, during, and after a disaster. Discuss the local risks so everybody's aware of what's going on. Assign roles of people that are going to do this, this, this. Family members are going to do this, this, this. Make sure they understand that. Establish a meeting point. If you can't get home, where are you going to meet? If you can't get home, where are you going to meet? Or if you can't get home at all, you can't stay in your home. Establish a meeting point. Establish a meeting point and practice evacuation routes at least twice a year. Build emergency preparedness kits. Build and maintain a go bag with at least 3 days supply of food, 3 days supply of clothing, at least 3 days supply of water, and even a stay-at-home kit, even a stay-at-home emergency preparedness kit with at least 2 weeks, if not 6 months, or a year's supply of food. At least 2 weeks to 6 months or a year's supply of food. And water. And water, guys. Remember that. Water is an absolute necessity here. Can't live long without water. Include specific items for pets and young children, such as diapers and formula, or even pee pads, toys for your children and your pets. Yeah, bedding for your children and your pets. Establish a communication strategy. Designate an out-of-state contact person. Designate an out-of-state contact person, as long-distance lines may be clearer than local lines during a crisis. Now we have only 20 people watching this program. I see a lot of people don't care about preparedness. They're the ones that are going to be in trouble. This is so sad. This is so sad. Now we have 24 people again. Use text messaging to minimize telephone network congestion. Use text messaging with your cell phones to minimize the cell network's congestion. Make sure you allow the cell network to be available to first responders, police, and fire department personnel. Manage critical documentation. Manage critical documentation. Keep physical and digital backups of financial, medical, and personal records, and in an accessible, safe place as well. Keep physical and or digital backups of financial and medical and personal records in an accessible and or a safe place, such as your computer database or on a stick as this. Yes, these sticks have great memory. Okay? How do I help my neighbor? Again, establish a communications plan. Create a neighborhood phone tree or a group chat to check on one another easily and frequently. Support vulnerable neighbors. Support vulnerable residents' neighbors. Identify neighbors with disabilities, medical concerns, or functional needs. Reliance on medical power supplies. Make sure they have power for their medical supplies, such as breathing. Air is necessary. Make sure they can breathe. Make sure they have adequate medical equipment, reliable equipment. Also, you also need to be aware of how to develop backup plans for them as well. Think about backup plans for them and help them put together a backup plan for an emergency or disaster. Okay? Share resources and skills. Share resources and skills. Form a mutual pod. Form a mutual aid pod here. Share emergency supplies or weatherproofing materials. Offer specialized skills such as using chainsaws to clear non-electric debris from streets. Something we did in Utah, we did in Colorado, we've done it in California, and we've done it here. Go to your church. Ask your individual church groups to find out who has specialized skills. Who's a doctor? Who's a nurse? Who owns a farm tractor? Who owns a skip loader? Who has specialized skills in your church or group? Write that information down. That way you and or a pastor have access to that information, and when an emergency comes up, you can help your area. You can help the area where you live. This is very effective. Also something you need to know. This is very important. Let me put this up in the chat here, up in the window here on the program so you can see this. Hold on a second. I thought I already had this ready. Only take a second here. Look at this. Make a sign that says help. Make up a large sign on a piece of paper and plainly make it up so it looks big. Put it up so it looks big, guys. This will help you. This is going to help you. Place a help and or an okay sign in your front window. If you need help, put that help sign up in your window. That will let anybody in your neighborhood know that you need help. If you're okay, put an okay sign. You don't need any help. That way, anybody going by, a first responder, a police officer, a sheriff's deputy, or a fire person or medical person, they will be able to quickly alert you and help your neighborhood get organized and help those people need help. Okay? Putting one of these in your windows will get you status, will be able to give your status to the neighborhood that you may need help. That way you're not going to die in your home. That way you can get the help that you need. Please place help or okay sign in your front window where it's clearly visible. Okay? That's important. This is very important. Any questions about anything said so far? Now, what are ways to support the community on a broader basis? What are ways to support the broader community? Join formal organizations. Get trained through local community emergency response team. Volunteer with the American Red Cross. Volunteer with the American Heart Association. If your hospital has a group you can go to and volunteer there, do it. Donate strategically. Financial contributions to recognized nonprofits like the Salvation Army or the World Central Kitchen. These are most often the most effective for donating unsolicited items. Only donate physical goods when specifically requested by relief organizations. Only donate physical goods when specifically requested by relief organizations. Give blood. Donate at a local blood and plasma center as supplies are often critically needed following major disasters. Now, this next one is very important. Offer emotional support. Simply listening to those that are affected can help reduce stress and build resilience in your neighborhood and your community. Simply listening can help reduce stress and build resilience in your neighborhood and your community. You can also help direct people to the Disaster Distress Helpline. The Disaster Distress Helpline. Now, if I will ask one of our moderators to put this helpline number in the chat. It's called the Disaster Distress Hotline. It's 1-800-985-5990. The Disaster Distress Hotline, 1-800-985-5990. Okay, that's a disaster distress helpline. Find expert advice on family emergency preparedness. Watch this program. Watch this program every Friday. We have Emergency Preparedness Fridays here. Get expert advice. We'll give it to you every day. Also, other previous programs that are on here that are labeled Emergency Preparedness, watch those programs. You get valuable information. Watch our previous programs when we talk about emergency preparedness. Each of those titles of the program are listed just that, emergency preparedness. Watch those programs. Okay? Watch it. How can we ensure emergency plans are inclusive of everyone? Ensuring emergency plans are inclusive requires a whole community approach that actively integrates the specific needs of people with disabilities, the elderly, and non-native language speakers in every phase of planning. Every phase of planning. How about those people that have a hard time speaking? How about autistic kids or adults? Identify specific needs of people in your area. Identify them. That way you can know that they need extra help, or they may need to know that you love them and care about them, and when something happens, that you're there to help them. Start now. Start now. You may also need to have a diverse communication strategy. A diverse communication strategy. Relying on a single mode of alert often excludes vulnerable populations. Effective plans use a multimodal approach. Visual and audio alerts. Visual and audible alerts. Use both flashing lights and loud sirens for alerts. Broadcasts should feature qualified sign language specialists, ASL. Broadcasters should feature qualified sign language ASL interpreters and real-time open captioning. Accessible formats. Provide written materials in multiple languages. Large print. Braille. Plain. Jargon-free language to accommodate those with cognitive or language barriers. Direct outreach. Utilize voluntary disability registries to identify individuals who may need specific notifications or wellness checks. Let me repeat that. Utilize voluntary disability registries. You can establish that in your own community, your homeowners association. Maybe you're going to have a neighborhood CERT program. Identify those specific people that might need help and make sure they get their help. How about an accessible evacuation and sheltering plan? An accessible evacuation and sheltering. That's important, don't you think? I think so. Let's talk about that. Standard evacuation routes and generic shelters often present physical barriers. Step-free routes. Map evacuation points that are entirely wheelchair accessible. Map evacuation paths that are entirely wheelchair accessible and free of steep steps or narrow passages. How about accessible transportation? Arrange for paratransit style vehicles or accessible vans that can accommodate mobility devices, such as standard school buses, are often inadequate. Standard school buses are often inadequate. Also equip your shelters. Help equip your shelters. Confirm that shelters are ADA compliant, featuring ramps, accessible restrooms, and cot heights suitable for transfers. They should also include quiet zones for individuals with disabilities that are aggravated by stress. How about service animals? Ensure policies that allow service animals to stay with their owners and have designated relief areas. Designated relief areas for those animals. How about personalized supply networks? Personalized support networks. Individualized, person-centered planning is critical for everyone who relies on daily support. This is critical. Person-centered planning is critical. The buddy system we just got through talking about a few minutes ago. Establish a support network of neighbors or family who know the individual's specific needs, such as how to operate their medical equipment or where they keep their go bag. Medical equipment backups. Identify alternative power sources for life-sustaining medical equipment and register with local utility companies for priority power restoration. Communication cards. Communication cards. Just like this help sign that you see here in front of you. You could carry printed cards with you in your wallet or your purse that inform first responders how to best communicate or what specific medical assistance might be required. Carry those printed cards with you. Let's talk about exclusive or inclusive planning and testing. Inclusive planning and testing. This is also important. Don't forget it. Involve the community. Include people with disabilities on planning committees and task forces. Their lived experience helps identify blind spots in traditional strategies. Realistic drills. In the past on this program, we've talked about drilling. Drill. Realistic drills. Conduct scenario-based drills that specifically test accessible transportation and communication methods. Use feedback from these exercises to refine living emergency documents. Use feedback here from these disaster exercises to refine living emergency documents. Don't forget your emergency documents, guys. The American Red Cross provides a wide range of free resources, and they give out paid supplies to help individuals and communities even to prepare and respond to and recover from disasters. They do it all the time. Immediate disaster response. Immediate disaster response. Before we get into this, I want to put up what Renee just put in the chat. Paducah, Kentucky. A severe thunderstorm warning has been put out by the National Weather Service. For Central Christian County, Central Todd County, Kentucky until 6:15 Central Time tonight. 60-mile-per-hour winds and radar is indicated. Severe thunderstorm warning. Coming out of Paducah, Kentucky for Christian County and Central Todd counties till 6 p.m. Central Time. High winds, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it's radar indicated. Take cover now. Take cover now. Now, Rich Quake put up here in the chat, do you really need help? You better put that up there. If you're going to need help, help your community and advise your community that you might need help. Let them know. That way your homeowners association or your neighbor could help you. Get help from everywhere. During an active emergency or its immediate aftermath, the Red Cross offers the following at no cost. Safe sheltering. They provide a place to sleep, meals, snacks, and water. Most shelters are pet friendly and accessible for people with disabilities. Health and medical services. Volunteers from the Red Cross assist with first aid, refilling lost prescriptions, and replacing lost eyeglasses or medical equipment like canes and wheelchairs. They offer mental health support in many cases. They have trained professionals that offer emotional support and spiritual care to help survivors cope with trauma. Emergency supplies. They distribute comfort kits, hygiene items like toothbrushes and soap, and cleanup tools like tarps, rakes, and shovels. They also have recovery assistance to help families return to normal. And the Red Cross provides direct financial assistance as well. In 2025, the Red Cross has distributed nearly $140 million directly to tens of thousands of households for urgent needs like rent and food. Casework and planning. One-on-one recovery planning to help individuals navigate paperwork, access funding, and connect with other community agencies. During a disaster, after an emergency, they have someone at the disaster location to help with family reunification, family reconnection. They have services to help find and reconnect loved ones that have been separated by disasters. Every disaster scene I've ever been on has helped a family reconnection center. They've always had a family reconnection center. They have preparedness tools and training as well. And you can get in on this training and help as well. The Red Cross offers digital and physical resources to use before a disaster strikes. Free mobile apps. The emergency application provides live weather alerts, a shelter locator, and expert safety advice. The first aid app offers step-by-step guidance for injuries and CPR. Life-saving training. Classes are available through the American Heart Association and the Red Cross for CPR, AED training, first aid, and water safety and babysitting. Survival kits. The Red Cross store. The Red Cross store sells various pre-assembled kits, ranging from personal safety packs, $36.50, to 4-person 3-day emergency backpacks, $348. Home fire safety. Volunteers provide free smoke alarm installations and home fire escape planning through the Home Fire campaign. What types of financial assistance does the Red Cross offer after a disaster? What do they do? Let's talk about it right now. The American Red Cross provides 3 primary types of financial assistance to support individuals and families and community organizations through various stages of disaster recovery. Immediate financial assistance. Immediate financial assistance here. In the direct aftermath of a disaster, the Red Cross distributes funds to help thousands of households recover urgent necessities such as groceries or gas, clothing, and rent. They have targeted outreach. The Red Cross typically identifies eligible households using its own damage assessments or FEMA data. They reach out directly via text or email with unique application codes. Delivery methods. Once approved, funds are delivered electronically via services like Zelle, PayPal, MasterCard Send, or Walmart Direct to Cash, or through Red Cross issued cash cards. Let's talk about their 2025 impact. As of this month, December 2025, the Red Cross has distributed nearly $140 million directly to tens of thousands of households that were recovering from disasters of all sizes. Yeah, that's how serious this is. They have bridge to long-term financial assistance. For disasters with extensive damage, a second phase of funding, often called bridge assistance, is provided to households whose primary residence was destroyed or sustained major structural damage. The eligibility criteria: one must be the head of the household and prove that the pre-disaster residence is currently uninhabitable due to significant structural failure, i.e. roof, walls, or foundation failure, or water lines above 18 inches. Flexibility. This assistance is not a loan. It does not have to be repaid. It is intended to bring the recovery gap for unmet needs like temporary housing, transportation, or job-related expenses. 2025 programs. Specific 2025 programs have supported survivors of the Texas floods, the Washington floods, and California wildfires. Community recovery grants. The Red Cross awards strategic grants to local nonprofit organizations to bolster community-wide resilience, and long-term recovery. Funding priorities. These grants focus on housing stability, mental health and wellness, and capacity building for local organizations. Again, this year's example. The Red Cross organization has provided more than $1 million in additional aid specifically for survivors of the July 2025 Texas floods through these long-term recovery efforts. They assist military families as well through the Hero Care Network. The Hero Care Network. The Red Cross facilitates financial assistance from military aid societies for active duty members, retirees and their families. That's important to know. Current needs. This can include emergency travel, burial costs, and emergency food or shelter. Remember this. Contact. Eligible members can call 1-877-272-7337 to request assistance. Eligible military members may call 877-272-7337 to request assistance. That's eligible military members. Do we have any questions about anything we told you tonight? I put this presentation together because we had such a huge request for it. Remember this program, Emergency Management Associates, and I put Emergency Preparedness on tonight's title. That's important. This is vitally important to everybody. I did this for a purpose. I did this for a reason, to help each one of you as well. Guys, I care about you. I love you. You're my family. Many of you are my extended family. It doesn't matter. You're still my family. I want you to have this information because it can help you to get back together with your immediate family and get back together with all of us. Guys, this is a time of giving. This is a time of giving. Now is a time to help each other. Now is a time to consider preparedness gifts for your family and friends. When you think about gifts for your family and friends this Christmas season, think about preparedness. How can I better help them prepare? And think about preparedness gifts that can help them specifically. If they have questions, talk to them about it. Talk to them about it and tell them you're willing to help them. Okay? Talk to them about it. This is the Christmas season. A time to think about Jesus Christ, his birth and his message. His birth and his message. Heather says she didn't get the phone number. Heather, the number for military families, eligible military families for help, 877-272-7337. 877-272-7337. Renee Stevie just put up another severe thunderstorm warning for Logan County, Butler County, Kentucky until 6:30 p.m. Central Time. 60-mile-per-hour winds with wind gusts and radars indicated. Severe thunderstorm warning, which could include possible tornadoes as well. Radar indicated. If you're in a thunderstorm warning area, take cover now. Take cover now. Go to the inner part of your home away from glass windows. During the thunderstorm, the thunder itself could rattle your windows and break your windows, break the glass. Wind could also pop your windows out. Go to the inner part of your home away from windows. Stay away from windows. Okay? Go to the inner part of your home and stay there until the storm seeds out. Okay? Yes, Heather, those were for military families to get help. Any other questions? Like I said, this is the time of the Christmas season where we think about Jesus Christ, his love for us, his birth in Bethlehem to his mother, Mary, and his father, Joseph, his earthly father, Joseph. Let's think about him. Let's make sure we worship him and we give thanks to him for all he's done for us. Prayer with our family. Let our children know how much you love our Savior. Let your children know. Make sure your children are aware of it. Get your children also to the point where they have their own testimony of Jesus Christ. They will forever be thankful for you for that. Study the scriptures with them. Make sure each family members have a set of scriptures that they can study from. You may also want your scriptures in your dining room when you decide to have a dinner. This is done frequently when I was a young man, when I was at my uncle's house, my aunt and uncle's house, visiting my cousins. They had family scripture study just prior to their dinner. They had scriptures laid out on the table. They read several verses from the scriptures every mealtime before dinner. What a time to get to know your family. What a time to study the scriptures. It's great. It's great. Brothers and sisters, I plead with you. The time is now. The time is now. Let's gather our children, our families together. We may not have another time. Let's pull everybody together and love each other. Okay? You never know when one of our family members might not be with us any longer. I've been there, done that. May God be with you this day and always. Bring God and Jesus Christ into our homes this holiday season. Bring God and Jesus Christ in our homes. I love you guys. I love you all. May God bring his love into your life. And may you always remember that. Remember that. I love you guys. I love you all very much. We'll talk another time. I promise you. We'll talk tomorrow evening, about 4 p.m. Eastern Time, with another episode of Emergency Management Associates. Have a good night, everybody. Much love. I salute you too, Heather. I salute all of you. Thank you for your help. Thank you for your love. God bless. Good night, everybody. Much love.
Here at Emergency Management Associates, we're dedicated and true, bringing you the essential knowledge, helping you see things through. From disaster preparedness to navigating recovery's embrace, we're here to guide you in every unpredictable time and place. We break down the complex, make it easy to grasp and absorb, sharing strategies for safety, the vital lessons you can't afford to hoard. So thank you for watching, and thank you so much for your sub. You're a key part of our growing family, a member of our knowledge club. With every like, every share, and every comment you send our way, our critical message spreads further, helping more people every single day. Together we're stronger and more prepared. That's the truth we all abide. You help us build resilience with nowhere for uncertainty to hide. Your engagement truly inspires us. Your feedback acts as a guiding light, helping us continually grow and making our channel's future bright.